but we'll see.
Did you see this poll that one of our viewers put up? It was DeCarlo. Shout out to DeCarlo. I think he's in the room right now. DeCarlo said, A2HH, this made me so sad this morning. I finally get why y'all go so hard on Eminem now. The vultures really have taken over hip hop, and it makes taken over hip hop, excuse me, and it makes me sad. So it was a poll that I think Daily Rap posted, and it said, who will leave a bigger legacy, Eminem or Kanye West? And it was 72% Eminem, 28% Kanye West. Um,
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
I mean, what is we talk about impact, and I think we talk about Kanye's impact, or at least I do all the time. And I want to be clear, like I think that before Kanye West came along, you needed to have a level of street credibility in rap, no matter what. And if you didn't, and if you were like a Ludacris or a Nelly or something like that, you just had to be able to have a big record, and you weren't looked at as like the face of hip hop.
Nelly had street cred in St. Louis, though.
He did though. No, I
Nelly
agree. I'm
had
just
street cred.
talking about in the music per
Okay, yeah,
se.
yeah, yeah. Nelly had street cred.
Um, and yeah, I think that Kanye's impact can be seen on the J. Cole, even Kendrick, Drake, definitely. We talk about
Mhm.
how 808s and Heartbreaks has impacted that part of, I guess, quote unquote, the OVO sound. I don't know what other way to describe it. Even artists using auto tune to that degree, even though T Pain was doing it, but rappers taking on auto tune in that way. Honestly, Kanye kind of did that first. You remember when he did that Put On with Jeezy?
Yes,
That
exactly.
changed everything.
That was everything.
That changed everything. I didn't like it when it happened, but once
Used to
again,
shut, used to
game
shut
changer.
down the club down here. Used to shut down the club down here when it came on.
And we're not even
Specifically, his
talking
verse.
about impact production wise either. So I guess from there, and what I would ask the people who, did this voting, like what exactly is Eminem's impact? Would you say?
One of the things that needs to happen in all this is that it would really behoove him. So we'll stop riding on his ass so much about it. For him to speak these things in these matters and to speak about them seriously like an adult white male that has made himself ridiculously and filthy, not even rich, but wealthy in a black sphere with the cosign of black people who, quite frankly, he has superseded on almost every level because of his white privilege. He needs to start speaking to these things. That's what I think the next thing
What
should
do you
happen
think
is.
he should say exactly? Like,
I think just at a point for where we are with it, and to the point that they are literally like altering rules and handing you things that you don't deserve and you haven't earned, which has happened before, but the egregious nature to which that it happens, even quite frankly, at the twilight of your career, it's like, well, why don't you be an adult and address this situation? Because you talk about how much you love hip hop. Well, step up and show us
yeah,
and
again,
speak.
man. No, I agree with that. Because
Step
if
up and
this is
speak on these
about,
things. Stop ducking and hiding. And because that's what he does. Like he does interviews at convenience, very much in the way Jay does, almost as if he's above reproach. And it's like, it, and I hate to say it like this, it's like that Dave Chappelle's thing where they're like in the courtroom and it's like, do you think Michael Jackson did it? It's like, no. And they're like, why? It's like he made Thriller. It's like, well, that's how I feel about Jay. It's like, well, Jay avoids interviews. It's like, well, yeah, he made Reasonable Doubt in the Blueprint in the Black Album
right.
in '97 Ho. Like, I don't give a fuck if he skips interviews for the next 10 years. You don't get to do that though. You're not Jay, but somebody treated you like Jay, like us. That should have never happened.
I never did, but you're right. Collectively, those
Yeah,
conversations should have never happened.
no, that's what I'm saying. Like you got treated. It goes back to that Rolling Stone cover we talked about that had who? Pac,
Big,
Big,
Jay, and Eminem.
and Eminem. And that's some of where that whole Nas disrespect started too. So
Yeah.
Eminem has something to do with where the Nas disrespect starts too.
And,
Because Jay's not supposed to be ahead of Nas on there either. But the fact that they put Eminem in there, it was just blatant disrespect to a hip hop hit.
you know, speaking of Nas disrespect, DJ Vlad used to do that a lot whenever he would ask people their top five. I remember specifically Jim Jones. He asked his top five. Jim Jones gave him his top five and forgot what it was. He didn't say Eminem. And it's, as soon as you ask somebody what their top five is and they don't mention Eminem, you're like, what about Eminem?
Yep.
That kind of shit.
That
The
kind of
person
shit.
didn't say Eminem. Leave it alone.
Right.
No one, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is wild, man.
It is.
Shit is wild.
Like, people be saying I'm wild for the stuff I be saying. It's like, yo, they got paid to say that. Or that nigga owned that other nigga. It's like, oh, you're not your own man. It's like, no. I mean that shit because, like, we grown men. Like, we know what it's like. Like, I'm outside. It's like, no, I can see how you move somebody else own you. It's like, don't be mad at me because I'm saying it. Don't be owned by no other man.
Ray Reynolds with the super chat says, would you brothers be adverse to doing a Lupe versus Kendrick after K Dot's album drops? I'm fine with that. We'll let the Lupe fans pick the Lupe songs. Ray Gillum said, yes, please go back and listen to Tattoos and Youth. Yes.
No, I will. No, I will. Listen.
And there was another super chat that I missed. Rigor Ross says, yo, Coop, match it and we review Lupe together, homie.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Rigor Raw actually, we've been talking on Twitter. Like me and him got some same of aesthetics and vibes, and he don't actually live too far.
Okay. AK's the Curtain says, without the support of M is Hobson. Excuse me. Without the support, M is Hobson. Jay Short says, Beyonce tried to do country awards. They said no. And, they do that. And, they're not. If that's what they want to do, it's what they want to do.
More power.
We're just more welcoming to any and everybody. Which is fine, but again, earn it, man. That's all I say. Earn it.
It just
There's no way in any poll that somebody could sit here and say that Eminem's legacy will leave a bigger legacy than Kanye West.
Well, no.
Not to that degree.
Let's quote Tribe Called Quest. Well, we just need to, check the rhyme. And it's like, well, when you check the rhyme, it's just not there. He's not where. And it sounds disrespectful. See, people who are fans of his that have him placed high, well, some of y'all need to understand that part of why you have him placed high is because the time that you heard him and where he got placed. I'm never going to take away the fact that he's a great lyricist. But outside of a brief run that a lot of other MCs that have had who are black, he hasn't had a special career. I can show you a lot of guys that have had pretty dope 2-3 album runs. A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Like, how about this?
Longer than that. I think one of the big things, though.
You want to know somebody like forget all of y'all taking issue with Kendrick over Lupe. Y'all need to be taking issue with the fact that Eminem is somebody that gets more notoriety than Lupe. That's the same wheelhouse, too. You feel what I'm saying?
No,
Lupe is somebody with a better catalog than M that does the same stuff M does on that lyrical miracle level that doesn't get notarized like that.
No, you're right.
I feel what you're saying about Kendrick, but this is what I mean about the brainwashing of the culture. It's like we got to start directing the attention where it really belongs. And it's like instead of giving Kendrick the smoke, need to be giving M the smoke because M's rated way more highly than Lupe is.
It's straight up. No, I couldn't have said it better myself. No, that's 100%. And I wonder why that smoke is done.
Stop being so brainwashed by it. You see how quick we want to put Lupe and Kendrick against each other? It's like, no. Let's put Eminem and Jack Harlow up against these guys. Let's see how they do against them.